Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. I wanted to talk about fitness and my wellness journey. I'm not an expert, but I do have been self learning a bunch of things that I think would benefit my health and help maximize my lifespan. But yeah, just simple things that I grew up with, things that I've learned from my dad, who's a wellness freak for a long time. Um, and then some new things that I've learned recently just on how to take care of my body, how to things, especially I never really liked the gym. I've always been the type of girl who would avoid the gym at all times and kind of judge other people who go to the gym, but that's because I think I just didn't have the self-confidence or the motivation to um, enter that environment. And maybe that speaks also to my own insecurities and all of that. So that's my history when it comes to health and fitness. But recently, this year or actually last year, that's when I started really getting into fitness. I have been kind of trying to find a workout that really works for me. And last year, I think I started in summer last year, I started signing up for classes like yoga, Pilates. I signed up for a gym membership by the end of the year. I didn't really like the gym that I initially had gone with just because it was really crowded and it just brought back my judgment from before. I used to work at a gym, actually, fun fact, in college. But yeah, I think the more people there are, the harder it is for me to focus on my own fitness and my own exercise. So I think just for the sake of, just starting and beginning this kind of journey, I think it's important that I'm in a place where I can really concentrate, really correct my form and find out the workouts that work for me and the workouts that I find enjoyable. So I ended that membership. It was it's a chain gym and really popular. And then now I am actually, I'm not supposed to say this, but I am using one of my sister's membership just to try it out. And I really like it. It's really private. There's not a lot of people there. And then but it's also mainly the older population, which I actually thrive because I feel like they don't really judge me compared to if I was to go to a gym in a university where everybody is the same age as me and everybody knows what they're doing. I think I'm less intimidated with the older population. So that's where I'm at. I don't have my own membership as of now. I'm still kind of jumping around, getting free trials. But once I do find one, do see myself consistently, at least, or maybe once or twice a week. I see myself going to the gym and just using the machines that I am very familiar with. Um, and yeah, I actually helped out a coworker yesterday. We went to the gym together and I taught her the things that I know. Obviously, she'll have to figure it out on her own what works best for her, but I introduced her to some machines that she didn't really know, and then basic routines for how to grow certain body parts. So I felt very proud because the last thing on my mind would the last thing that I would ever imagine is for me to help somebody else with their fitness journey. That's why I kind of wanted to make this video, because I feel like for all of the girls who are like me, who are either intimidated by the gym, really don't know, it's a unfamiliar territory, very introverted, shy, and just kept to themselves, I think I definitely figured out a way to insert myself in that kind of place without like fitting myself in, like that's not really helping me, because I feel like if I did lifting and all of those things, I wouldn't be really satisfied with my body, because I know that I don't want to be super big. I don't want to have like really big muscles, by preference, and I just want to tone and feel stronger. So yeah, that's my fitness goal for this year, is just to tone down and be a little bit stronger and grow some body parts. But yeah, I wanted to share the things that I do to upkeep my health. And despite the busy work schedule, I wouldn't say busy work schedule, I think working 4 days a week, 10 hours a day, um, there you do get burnt out easily. That's why you have the 3 days off to decompress. But I, sorry, I'm still recovering from a cold. But I do try to put in some movement almost like daily, whether that's just walking during break time at work, and then doing some exercises at home. Those are really the main things. I think as a beginner, you really have to take it easy with yourself, as in you have to take it one step at a time, baby step. And what I mean by that is just going to the gym once a week, maybe. And then once you figure out the things that you like doing, once you have a routine, then you can increase it by twice a week or 3 times a week. And then eventually you'll get to where you feel comfortable. I know I have some friends who work out almost every day, no rest day. But that's their fitness goal. But for me, since given my schedule, I can really only work out, like as in target muscle lifting, on 3 days a week. So that's what I do. And then yeah, I do a lot of cardio. I think if you're just starting out, as in you have been kind of a hermit for a good amount of time, I think it's really important to really exercise your heart first, as in do things that will pump up your heart, such as cardio, jump ropes, walking, running, jogging. What else can we do? Yeah, like jumping jacks, just anything that to keep your heart kind of pumping, get it into a state where it's used to working extra hard. I think that's really important. And then also stretching is very, very important, especially if you haven't worked out in a long time, like as in years. For me, I started by doing mat workouts at home, because I know that if I go to the gym and I use someone else's workout, like my family members, my family, they're very into health and wellness too. I'm actually the second to last to join the bandwagon, but I one time followed my sister's workout, and it was just not it, as in like I was so sore the next day, and I didn't want to go back. And I think that's usually what happens when somebody is trying to get into the gym, is that they'll follow someone else's routine that is not really beneficial for them. Like, you definitely need to seek out a professional or a trainer, because everybody creates their own routine based on what's familiar to them, what feels good for their body. So it's not a one size fits all, for sure. And yeah, I definitely had to really take it slow. I started at home. For my cardio, I don't have any treadmills at home, so I just walk at a park. And then at some point, I only have 3 days a week to really go out and work out. So I would start with walking 10K per day out of those 3 days. And then some of that 10K also has some slight jogging, maybe like I think around my third week of walking 3 times a day, 3 times a week. I was able to insert some jogging, really light jogging without feeling dehydrated. And I know like this side of my stomach hurts when I run. So I am trying to ask other people who are more familiar with running. Sometimes it's kind of I get a mixed reaction. Sometimes they say it's probably because I'm dehydrated. Sometimes they say it's the way I run. Definitely, I did notice that once I started going to the gym a couple weeks ago, I feel like I can run more or longer on a treadmill than I can run outside. And I think I'm just very easily distracted when I'm running outside, and the air is just different. There's like sometimes it's like no air, and then sometimes there's air. It's very unpredictable, the weather especially. So the gym really helps when I want to track the distance and how long I've been running. So that's why I do have a membership, but or that's why I do try to go to the gym. But other than that, like if I could have all of those machines that I use at the gym at home, I wouldn't be going to the gym, because honestly, I really like working out alone, or at least with just one person. For some reason, I don't feel comfortable. I just am easily distracted, but it's really hard for me to focus on myself when there's other people around me. I'm not really in that level yet. I know other people can, and some people really thrive going to the gym because seeing other people work out motivates them, but it's just not for me. um, Maybe, hopefully, eventually, when I have my own place, I can set up a little home gym and just have it really accessible for me. But this is what we have to work with for now. So, yeah, if you are just starting out, I would recommend really focusing on the heart, as in getting it pumped at least a couple times a day. It's really, really important because, I'm not a doctor, but I feel like if you go into sports or working out from being a couch potato, it could really do some damage. So it's really important to prepare, really have a good preparation routine before you dive into stronger intensity workouts. Besides cardio, I would really recommend, stretching, and then also food. I would say if you're gonna start going to the gym, another thing that could help you really feel or keep up that streak of going to the gym is your food, your diet. I would say not really consume less, but consume lighter. So what I mean by that is just eating a lot more vegetables, because your body will need all of those nutrients when you are, working out, tearing down your muscles. Like, it's very important that your body has all of the vitamins it needs to heal itself after working out. And that's really the things that I recommend as an early, like, pre fitness journey. It's just start by not customizing your breakfast, lunch, and dinner to a way that could get you as many nutrients as you can, and also go a little bit lighter. I wouldn't say like go on a strict diet, but just be more selective on what you eat, and definitely incorporate some greens, because you will need a lot of that. And then drink lots and lots of water as you are going through this pre-hit fitness journey workout package. Okay, so that's that. For diet, I do try to use like plant-based. So most of the times, sometimes I would stir fry tofu with broccoli, mushrooms, or bok choy, and then, some sauce, and then rice. That's like that's as close as I can get to plant-based diet without feeling lazy, because I know that with unconventional diet like vegetarian, pescatarian, all of those kinds of diets, you do have to really be creative with your recipes compared to what everybody else eats, the majority of population eats. So I don't have the brain for that. I think I do need to learn a lot more about it before I can start diving into different recipes. And I know that my taste buds, they're not really accustomed to eating vegetables, so I definitely have to take it step by step and start with the vegetables that I already like, and then from there venture out to like maybe bell peppers, celery. I don't know. Those are the ones that I'm not really a huge fan of, but I know they're really good for you. And yeah, and then if cooking is like an issue for you, I would recommend just starting with smoothies, like shakes. Like bananas, apples, celery, those are really good ones. Super greens, spinach. If you want to start adjusting or improving your diet, I would start with smoothies and shakes, especially if you're a very picky eater. That's how I started too. Just combining fruits and vegetables together to still have that sweet flavor. Yeah, and then it gets more complex as you dive more into this health and fitness journey. Like some people start using electrolytes in their drinks, but that's if you're really doing intentional and intense workouts. But as a starter pack, I would just recommend fruit smoothies and just more plant-based diets. Yep, and then so have, the way that I helped my body feel stronger at home is just doing burn workouts. So I'm not sure if you've heard, but some gym girls are saying that Pilates and all of those yoga and mat workouts, they don't really build muscles, they just burn. And it's gonna take a long time for you to actually see some difference. I mean, tone wise, yes, you will see pretty significantly as you continue doing burn workouts and mat workouts, but they do say that adding weights is what's really going to give you that like body mass or the muscles. So I started with just doing mat workouts at home. I was doing some leg workouts using my own body weight first. I really wanted to be self-reliant and not purchase any workout materials if I'm not really going to fully commit. So I definitely started with just using my own body weights, like curl-ups, push-ups. I do like more Pilates mat workouts just because I like how they make me feel, and I do feel like I'm getting the stretch that I need. So I would recommend Pilates mat workouts. They have a lot on YouTube. I just pick and choose from the different videos that I've seen and what I feel like I really have fun doing. So, you know, the huge selection, don't feel intimidated and feel like you have to do all of the different kinds of workouts. It's really just for you to choose from and pick what's more comfortable for you and your body. Um, so that's that. And then after a while of doing consistent like work, mat workouts at home like 3 times, or sometimes when I had a different schedule, then I was doing it 5 days a week because I had a more flexible schedule. But now that my work is compressed to 4 days, I really only have time to work out 3 times a day during my off days. But that's where I started, and then after a couple months, I would say 2 months, I started purchasing weights. So the first one that I bought are actually the first one that I got was bands, the elastic bands. Those are for strength resistance. I started using them because when I felt like my body was, it was easy to use my body weight, as in it wasn't giving me like the pump. Then I moved on to bands, and then after the bands, I bought those not bangles, um, the wrists. It's like a arm weight and then ankle weights. I bought those from Amazon. They're very cheap. Just choose one that you like, the aesthetic that you like, and then after that, okay, so with bands and the ankle weights, I used them for about a month. And then after that, my body just felt like it could use more weight. So that's when I purchased a adjustable weight. It's actually supposed to be for my dad, but he doesn't really use it. It was a gift for him. So I just have it in my room, and it goes up to 30 pounds, I believe. Since I started using dumbbells or weights to work out, I am now at the 22, 25 pound when it comes to my glute workouts, which I'm really proud of because back then I was only using 10 pounds. And you really have to start small and really prioritize your body. What you don't want is to scare your body away from lifting, because that's usually what happens and why people are not able to enjoy their time working out. It's because they jump really high too soon. So it's really important to take it slow and just listen to your body. That's really the main priority and the point that I want to get in this that I want people to understand from this video. But yeah, after I've been doing the dumbbell workouts I've been doing dumbbell workouts for, I would say, January, February, March, April, 4 months. And I do realize that I'm starting really slow because I only work out for about an hour per day of the 3 days that I have off. But recently, when I go to the gym, I don't know why, I just feel more motivated now, because I feel a bit more confident with myself. I also bought some cute workout clothes, and I think that really helps. Like my coworker who I went to the gym with yesterday, we went shopping first for shoes and then some workout clothes because she didn't have any workout clothes. I can relate to girls who really tie the fashion with working out. I also feel that way. Like I feel like I wouldn't have a good workout if I didn't have clothes that made me feel confident. So I think it's really important, and if you're a guy listening to this, just let the women be, let them do what they want. And yeah. So that was that. I am doing a lot of dumbbell workouts. I'm not into like the Smith machines yet. I've tried it a couple times with my sister. She's on that level already, but I don't see myself doing Smith machines just because, like I said, I really do target workouts because I don't really want to be big. I just want to tone and then work on my abs and then just my glutes and then back and shoulders. That's all I really that's my goal. And everybody's goals will look different. So don't feel pressured to have the same goals as other people because their workout routines are customized for those kinds of goals. So definitely start figuring out what you want out of this fitness journey, whether it's what kind of body parts you really want to improve, that will really elevate your confidence. That is the most important thing. And then, what else? I have been focusing on sleep. Sleep quality is something that I really had to work on again after I came back from my Pakistan trip. My sleep schedule was so off after I came back, and it was 4 months ago, and I'm still trying to get back to my routine, especially since two things changed, which is my work schedule, and then daylight savings happened. So my sleep has been so off the charts. It's like very inconsistent, but I have been learning the importance of quality sleep. So there's a lot of videos on YouTube that will teach you the different ways that you can improve your sleep. If you're a woman, I would suggest looking up female content creators who talk about it. And if you're a male, to do the same thing, just because I know, as a psychology major, I know that most studies done on sleep are conducted based on male population. So if you're a female and you really want to understand how to improve your sleep quality, I would suggest looking up um, female researchers who studies sleep specifically for women, because we are very different. Our chemistries, biologies are different. So I highly recommend just looking up female content creators who share their health and fitness online. I have been trying to get at least 8 or 9 hours a day, a night of sleep. That's my goal. Lately, it's been 6 or 7, definitely. It's not bad, though, that my body really relies on sleep. Like recently, when I wasn't getting a really, really good sleep quality, like my immune system just broke down and I was more susceptible to bacteria and colds. So that's how I got sick, I think. Um, yeah, so sleep is very important to me. I do notice that sleep also improves my skin. So the more sleep that I get, the better I feel like my skin barrier is. And then also moisturizing, just being really hydrated is really important. Um, Pick a really clean moisturizer with as less ingredients as you can, just because I do think you know, you know what they say in science, like the skin is the biggest organ that we have, so it's really important that you're choosing cosmetics and skincare that really feeds nutrients to your skin, not just a bunch of chemicals that's lab made. So I would say start researching things on that. Um, yeah, so sleep is very important, diet, and then if you want to, so for me, the only thing that I do to really improve my sleep is I don't eat 2 hours before I go to bed. I try not to. It's very difficult when I get home at 7 p.m. and I'm starving from the day and I have to get up by 6 the next morning. I hope you can barely hear my dogs. They're so dramatic. Anyway, as I was saying, I usually don't eat 2 hours before. I try not to. Um, I do have to get up at 6 a.m. every day for work, or at least for the 4 days that I'm working. So I have to be very intentional about if I'm eating the day before, when I get off. Because I do have to be asleep. If I want to get 9 hours of sleep, I do have to sleep earlier or as soon as I get home from work. So it's very difficult. I'm still trying to adjust to it and really get into a routine. But that's that. If I have a really hard time falling asleep because of the coffee from, the morning coffee that I have, I would drink chamomile tea. Chamomile tea is very good when it comes to relaxing your nervous system. So it really puts you in a low level of low level of energy, which will help with sleep. And then I also try to turn off all of the lights in my room and also lower down the temperature. So I try to put on the lowest setting on my fan to cool down my room. I do take hot showers and I take a shower at night after I get home from work. So that one, it really messes up my circadian rhythm just because I get so, heat really pumps up the energy in the body. So I tend to have a harder time sleeping right away. It takes me 2 to 4 hours before I'm actually really sleepy. So something that I definitely need to fix. But yeah, sleep. And then what else was I gonna talk about? Yeah, I think I covered most of it. If you guys wanna if you want me to go into details of what I do on a day-to-day basis, I can. This is just like the gist of how I am starting to focus really on my fitness and health journey. I think this year I do want to feel stronger and be the best version of myself and feel really good about myself. So I'm putting a lot of resources and time into that aspect of my life. That's my main focus, and it's been really, really fun. It gives me a lot of self confidence because when I know that I'm working on myself, I know that it's an investment, and I am the best vessel or instrument that I can be towards something greater. So I really enjoy this period of just focusing and finding out, learning how to improve my health and fitness. Um, that's all I have. I didn't write a list, but hopefully I covered everything. I do I do want to go into details. I am going to share more videos of myself and what I do for workouts at home and also at the gym. I I love seeing those TikToks or shorts on YouTube, so I'll start making more of those. So if you want to know what I do on a day-to-day basis, I think definitely check out my shorts. Um, and yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's a very short, um, it's a very quick and last minute video. I mean, all of my videos are last minute, but they're not quick. Anyway, you guys have a great day. I'm gonna be building a bed frame today. And then, what else am I doing today? Yeah, I'm gonna try to tan, go to the beach because I'm going to Coachella. I got peer pressured. I wouldn't say peer pressured. I know that I've always wanted to go this year. It's a year of saying yes. And I think I really just had to let go of my hesitation just because it's a very hefty ticket. It's very expensive. And I'm not really the biggest fan of festivals. It's very rowdy and chaotic and it's hot. But I do understand the joy it brings to other people. I see how much joy and happiness people feel when they go to these things. And yeah, I definitely really have to go at least one time, and we'll see how I like it. But yeah, starting to prepare for the 3 exciting days. Um, and yeah, really focusing on my body. Anyway, have a great Monday, everybody. Have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.